We'll go over a little bit of Hilchos Hagola. So there's two parts Hilchos Hagola. Hilchos Hagola is first Hagolas Keilim. Keilim, utensils. And then Hagola from a kitchen for Pesach, for all year round. We'll go over the halachas be'ofen kluli. And you can use it all year round because people have shilas, something became treife. Okay, now it's the Torah brings down in the beginning in Siman Tov Chov Ches. There are two places in the Torah. The Torah writes wegen Hagolas Keilim. One is Parshas Tzav, and one is Parshas Metzoira. Next week's Parsha. Parshas Tzav is regarding Karbonos, and it says that you should morig v'shutev b'mayim, and the klicheres you have to break. It's talking about Kodeshim. And then in Parshas Metzoira, also the Torah speaks about when you cook Karbonos, Metzoira, how you should kasher and what you could kasher. And the Torah writes, why is it after Parshas Tzav and Parshas Metzoira? Because this is the weeks which is always before Pesach. A regular year, Parshas Tzav is before Pesach, and a leap year like this year, Parshas Metzoira is before Pesach. Therefore, the Torah put in Hilchos Hagolas Keilim before Pesach in order we should know how it goes, how to make kasher and Keilim. Now, by us, it's a little bit less shchiach because, as I mentioned, today's day, most people have Pesach kitchens, or even if they don't have a Pesach kitchen, taka, but I can put in utensils with Sachen you have. So therefore, it is mislachter. But so nevertheless, there are things which you owe, even when you have a Pesach kitchen, you kasher, or mitzad aminig, or mitzad things which not everybody has a separate oven or whatever. So therefore, we have to go over a bit of halachas. So first, let's go over the klula hagula. Klula hagula. There's two things which how you make a kela kosher. One is called libun, one is called hagola. Libun means you take it out through fire, and with the Rishonim zugen, you burn out the iser which is in the keli, you burn it out. It has ramifications how you burn it up. And hagola does not burn out the food which is in the walls of the kela. It takes out the blias which you have in a kela. So again, hagola takes out the blias. Libun does not take out the blias. Libun burns the blias which is in the kela, burns it out. In Sota Nagaya Mabal Zain, ramifications of Allah. So, what?
Can you do just a libun without
of course, libun even better than hagola. Yes.
So you don't have to do hagola.
You don't have to make a gula. If you want, you could make libun, and that's even better. Everything which needs that if you make a thing which needs hagola, you make libun kal, it's also enough. But we'll get to it in a minute.
All these rules that we're saying regarding kashering for Pesach is the same thing.
Same as all year round. Everything is the same year round. Hilchos Pesach and Hilchos is the same. It's kleine Sachen which we're going to mention, but b'derech klal it is more or less across the board. So what is libun and when you need libun? Any time when the iser, which chometz, when it comes to Pesach, we call it iser. Anytime when the iser gets nivla in the walls of a keli, gets absorbed in the walls from a keli through fire, you need libun. Libun because since it went in through fire, direct fire, not through water in between, so you have to take it out also with fire. Passing in the Torah. Whatever came in through fire, you have to take out with fire. And that's the most chumradige Sach, because you have to take it out with fire. Whatever became a bliya by water, that means there was water inside, through water, then you have to make hagola. Now, what kind of hagola? We're going to see. So let's start like this. First, the klulam. Anything which went in through fire, you have to make libun. For instance, pans, you have to make libun because went in through the oven. broilers or spidim, which they used to do, or in Milmad you can still see it by the broiled chicken. You put it on a piece of metal, on a piece of a spit. The what? On a spit. Oh, okay. So since it became Gadabliya through fire direct, there was no water in between. So in order you should be able to make it kosher for Pesach, has to have through fire. That means you have to put it into fire and take it out. That's called lim. A thing which got in, the bliyas got into the pot, the taste got into the pot through water, it depends. Did it go through a klirishin? That means you cooked something, a pot, which goes in klirishin. That means alo aish. Klirishin means a pot which is on the fire. So therefore, or was on the fire, Ladafkis is now on the fire, but it was on the fire, it's also klirishin. So therefore, since the walls are very hot, the walls of the pot are very hot, so it keeps heat along. So therefore, anything which got absorbed in through direct klirishin, you have to kasher only with a klirishin. For instance, a pot, or even spoons, because a spoon, you mish the pot, you mix the pot with a spoon, so automatically it went into a klirishin, so you got a bliya in klirishin, you have to take it out with a klirishin. What's a bliya, what's of a klirishin when it calls the kashin? You have to dip it into a pot which got boiled, and it's still boiling, it's bubbling still. We have to remember, this is a very important thing, has to bubble. Then you dip it in, that's called Hagola b'klirishin. A thing which...
And to become tummy, it doesn't have to bubble.
The what?
To become...
No, it doesn't have to bubble. Why? Because, that means, you have a kela, for instance, which lavdafka use of, it's always yatzoldes boy. If it's not yatzoldes boy, that means it's becoming kambaliya. But you have yatzoldes boy, but not necessarily it's 250 degrees. And now, by Babliya, you have to have 212. Yeah, we know Hagola is 212. Now, when you use it in the pot, maybe you use it only for 200. So maybe you could cash it 200, because we have a klal in halacha, kabbalah kachpoltoi. The way how you're balai the thing, the saying you have to spit it out. That's why, since you are balai through fire, you have to have a liver. So therefore, since you balai through klirishin, you have to take it out through klirishin. Now the question is going to be that maybe if I use it only for 200, why do I need 212? The answer is because we don't know how far, since you use it constantly with the klirishin, so we cannot go over the cheshbonis. This is as much as this goes as 200, this goes on 10, so since once it was already Lamala miyatzol this boy, you have to kasher it full kasher, klirishin, malababiyat, which is 212 degrees, how you kasher it. Yeah.
And this, even if I know for sure that
there's no such thing as you know for sure. If, for instance, the Nekidus of the Muran Al Rebbe is a clue. Why? Because maybe the first time it was a little bit more. For instance, but if it is a thing which is, we always know it doesn't go more than X amount of, it cannot go more. The national organizations will rely on it, which I don't want to go in now over here, will rely on it with tzrifim andere Sachen. For instance, when it comes to ovens, which we're going to see soon, which you cannot make libn gomer, they rely on this thing that we know how much it could go up. And with other tzarifim, they will use it. But usually, the pashas, when it comes to agola, we always, if it's a klirishin, has to be a klirishin. If it's not a klirishin, that's something else. But if it got a believe a klirishin, then we are going to say, you have to spit it out, oz klirishin. If it got only through iri means by pouring for a klirishin, so that's already a little bit less hot. Why? Because it doesn't have the walls, the hot walls, which keeps it hot. So therefore, since it doesn't have the hot walls, and not only that, iri goes through the air, which is called air, so automatically it lowers a little bit the heat. So therefore, when you kasher it, since the bliya was only through iri, then you can also kasher it through iri. If it was by kli shiny, you got a blia through kli shiny, but again, it has to be yatzoldas boy. If anything which is not yatzoldas boy, basically there's no blia. It's as if it wasn't belaya, because yatz kli shiny, which is yatzoldas boy. That means if you take you take from out of the urn, you put it into a cup. This cup, the hot water is yatzoldas boy. No question about it. But it's a kli shiny. Why is the kli shiny lower? Because it has walls. The fanas mekareros. The fanas mekareros automatically cools it down. So therefore, when you kasher it, it is enough that you kasher it only with the kli shiny. Now, when no, you don't need. It has to be kli shiny. Now you can ask the question, why do I need the spoons to kasher kli rishon? The answer is because you eat soup with it. It's already a kli shiny or maybe a kli shlishi. The answer is, if I know utensils was only used with kli shiny, you don't need to have it dipped in kli rishon. But since sometimes you use a spoon to mish the pot, to stir the pot, so automatically we don't know what. Now the mechloek is the mechaber remu. If you go rough tashmish or rough tashmish, the mechaber holds if most of the time you use it only for kli shiny, even though once in a blue moon you use it for kli rishon, you can cash it for kli shiny. But the remu disagrees with that. And all the achronim, Ashkenazic achronim, disagree because we have to find that basically only once you use it with hot. This one time, you got a believe. So therefore, in gaimanish with rough tashmishoy. So therefore, you have to make a gola with kli rishon by utensils.
So according to what you just said, that a pot and a pan is very different.
A pot and a very, very different. A pot which you cook with water has a different halacha than a pan which is in the oven. Yeah, exactly. A pan is the pan. Du schwenst sich schon wie viel oil, how much? It depends. It's a. But what? But the spoon, when you use a spoon, it's a liquid. So when you use a spoon for a liquid or something like that. The water? Nee, nicht ein bisschen oil. You know, das ist auch nicht so wie ein Leben, darf sein ein bisschen, machen ein bisschen.
Omelet. Makes an omelet.
Yeah, no.
Use a spoon. A cabinet on the pan, and the pan is basically it's dry. It has a thin layer of oil, maybe, and that's it. And you flip
yeah, have a thin layer of oil, and basically you use it even when it's you use it
on the fire to flip over the.
Yeah, but flip over is kachumas die Sachen. But if you have, let's say, you have a latkes, which is. Es ist auch nicht pushet. In Sommer ist auch nicht pushet. Lo der zemach tzedek tak, so zemach tzedek von Wald eine Geis an. Maybe you'll have to have libben in such a case. But according to most of the posts in Staffen Kaliban, while sof after all, when we say it needs libben, that means it's like the whole. It's like a bread challah in an oven. Whenever you have a challah in an oven or such a thing. Which is the fire goes direct into the machel goes in direct into with b'choy ma'ayish. Over here, the machel goes in through the utensil goes in through the machel. It's got durch the machel. It's got durch the top durch the machel through the food. So according to a lot of points, is lav because of that leben. So I said is your machel. For instance, I'll give you a much what.
Keli touches
the food. But the keli touches the food. If you stuck it into a French toast, dort habt's von der Problem. If you touch it in French toast, and ich nehme dort noch mit auf mal leben, das Sache. French. Aber es ist chumasig, es darf sein chumasig. Not, yeah, okay. And ich nehme.
When you're making a pan, the pan becomes very hot.
Goes very hot.
You're using a fork to flip over your French
toast. It does this. The hand, but the piece which goes into that if it becomes very hot, if it becomes very hot, the Matthias Kazan is hot at a point. As it doesn't get that hot, we are lieben gummer.
So how would you kasha a pan? If according to this,
a pan you have to make lieben, yeah.
And a
Yeah.
pot, you do have to...
That's why frying pans we cannot make agala. Frying pans we have to make
So
liber.
a pot that's boiling water, chicken soup is agala.
Is agala.
And then
A pan has to have liber.
a liben gummo.
Yeah.
So what the problem is that the aluminum pans, that if you do a liben gummo, it's going to boil through the pan.
So if you mean disposable or what?
No. Metal pan, aluminum sheet pans.
Yeah.
If you do a liben gummo on it,
Yeah.
then it's going to actually burn through the...
Then it's can't finish liber. So if it became dry, you throw it away. Exactly.
So you can you do agala on that and...
No, if it went in through a liban, you cannot do angola. If you need liban, you cannot make angola. If you need angola, you can make liban because liban is a higher status. But if you need a liban, you cannot make angola.
Can you do a liben kal or a liben gummo?
It depends on met balzemet. In some room, when we have liban kal, when we have liban gummer, we're gonna see. But if you need liban gummer, it has to be liban gummer. And a thing which might melt, can man bechanisch machen kan liban. As we are afraid you're not going to do right because you're afraid it's going to melt. So I can put them in the shal. We're gonna liben gummer. This we're going to come to that. Yeah, but on the rate we're going, we won't get to that. All these things. Yeah. Okay. What?
We gotta do Thursday night.
Yeah. Okay. So the next step is if it got a blia through tzoyna, there's no blia. So anything which was used chomatzik, but was used cold, you plain wash it and it's okay. The final thing is a thing which you had kvisha. That means it was in a keli cold 24 hours. You had what?
Nothing on Charav.
No charav, not charav. Charav, no. Charav is even less than 24 hours. But we're talking not charav. You have anything which is chomazik, soaked in a keli. The keli, what? Liquid, has to be in a liquid. Has to be a liquid. It has to be in the same liquid. If you change the water, it doesn't help. It has to be the same liquid. 24 hours. Then we say it is kuvash kemavishal, and then you need even a clearish. You need a regular clearish. Okay. Now we have two what?
Malia.
Yeah, Malia. Okay, Malia I can say, but it's not applicable in nowadays. Okay. Now we have two liban. We said liban. What is liban? We have two libans. We have a liban which needs liban gumar. What's a liban gumar? Has to be so hot. You have to boil it so hot that netzitzen nitzen. That when you knock on it, you should have spark should come out. Now in our metal, there's no such a thing. In our metal, there's no such a thing that basically that you boil it becomes hot. Special metal which doesn't happen. So what is lim gomer? So first of all, lim gomer is it means when you put it, it gets so hot that when you close the light, you're going to see some kind of redness. It became some redness. That's considered nitzen. Or if you take a hammer and you knock on it, maybe then you're going to have a spark. But when it comes to, let's go to the final zach, when it comes to degree, how hot it should be, is ungenehmen, it's from 850 to 900 the degree. That's called liben gumar. Liben gumar again has to be from 850 and up. 850 and up. Liben kal, things which you don't need liben gumar, which you can get what we need, but just the klulam. Liben kal is you don't need as much hot as the tzitzanizm. It is when you boil it inside, you put in you heat it inside so much that way, or let's say you put it inside gechulam or and you touch it outside, it's going to be outside yatzaldas boy. That's considered liben kal. The Alter Rebbe sucht in Zema Machmar, it should be a little bit more hotter. That you put outside a kash, it should burn. Kash, today's day we will say kash if you find, okay, but if you put is it other like a for them or a tissue? If you put a tissue on the other side and you see it gets dark, that's it is liben kal. How much is it liben kal in degrees? Ungenehmen a poskim is be'erech klal in the 500 degrees. You know, that's good. What?
How do you know?
But it's also people made experiences.
Yeah, but
No, but when you're doing the
I need to put a
how do you know if the clay became 500 or 900?
Or you could do with a cash, or with a chut, or with a tissue, or people know. You put it into a, or you put it in. Take him a thermometer, or you put it in the oven, which you know how it is. So the guys are like about oven. So the guys are like oven. Whenever an oven, you won't need only lieben kal. You could kasher all the ovens. We come to that. There's two ovens. There's an oven which is a self-cleaning oven, which a self-cleaning oven goes all the way to 900 degrees. 900. So therefore, 859, yeah. So therefore, a self-cleaning oven, you could kasher. Self-cleaning oven, kasher. But now, there's one now is the Alter Rebbe wants, which other person doesn't want.
Today there's a self-cleaning that is not so.
Then it does help. The new help is not so hot.
There is kind of.
Okay, so you have to know if it is a regular self-cleaning oven, which comes to 850 and up, and you have a good cycle, and want more now with the Alter Rebbe wants, it has to have an element inside too. Some, not all of, I think probably most of them is also a broiler, so America has an element inside. But the Alter Rebbe wants that the fire should be also inside. Andere poskim, I would say, Rebbe the poskim do not agree with Alter Rebbe, but the Ronir, we should have an element inside, which usually it has. Such a thing, you could kasher, and an element. Hearing, the what? The what?
You used to cook or whatever.
And what?
The inside, what's inside? You need a piece of metal.
No, not a regular oven is the fire underneath, and you have on top a floor, and then you bake it inside. So the heat, which is at the bottom, goes through the floor, and that's heat.
Right.
So that's not the fire inside. That means if a challah is on the floor from the oven, so the blias goes this side, and the fire is on the other side. And Alter Rebbe holds this doesn't work like that. That if the fire is not the same way the chumetz was nivla, it won't help. There you can take up the floor.
With coal.
Okay, fine. Okay. If you could, whatever. Okay. If you could cover it with coal. Again, has to be what?
Electric ovens doesn't work.
Electric or bechlal never come to this house. Do what? Do I have? Which
I don't know.
and how does it come?
Hard enough to burn oil.
And does any element inside any? Okay, so then Gasman also has, because it has a broil. It helps it. Yeah, goes on. Yeah. So again, so therefore, when it comes to Liban Chumar, self-cleaning ovens, you could kasher for Pesach. When you cover then the glass door, you should cover at least, because that's the glass door inside you should cover the doors, which is basically that. When guy around in zechiches, going in the problem of zechiches, you could kasher or not. So therefore, you should cover it.
You have to cover it inside.
Because we have a machlokes, the more holes that zechiches you cannot schuches. But again, then a self-cleaning oven you could kasher. What? You could kasher for Pesach, you could kasher all year round. For both of them could kasher. The what?
The glass.
The 9. All year round, when it's my class, we can't kasher in glass. The all year round is my class. Akapuna beoifen wie, yeah. Well, some of them machlokes, is no Pesach or nicht. You don't drink in the same cup, the glass, milk and chicken soup, because the remu, if according to the Mechaber, you don't need to kasher. So some poskim, a lot of poskim hold that's the remu is machmer only in Pesach. All year round is Michael. So therefore, when it comes to kashering the self-cleaning oven all year round, verlockt man sich als man kennt ja kashern glus, or man darf gut nicht kashern. So therefore, you could self-cleaning oven, you can kasher even from drive. To kashrus. But only a cycle. You have to have a cycle. A full cycle. 3 to 4 hours, whatever, yeah. It has to be a long full cycle. Yeah.
And they use the
Yes, I know. When I grew up, a lot of people used glasses for milch all year round. For milch is fleischig normally. That's what the mine and Ashkenazim.
Today there's no problem.
Yeah, but then time. But when it comes to a regular oven, which doesn't go that high, then you cannot kasher it from treifers, you cannot kasher it for Pesach, because it doesn't have liben gummer, you need liben gummer. When you could use it, when it comes to milchis fleischiks, if you want to kasher for milchis fleischiks, or to parva, you want to bake for Shavuos, then you could rely to make an hour, it should become the highest level, because we don't need it, it's not the Isser, it's not Blias Isser, it's Blias mi Hatayre. But my of them, kann man sich verlassen, nicht bekommen, of them you could kasher an oven before Pesach. But when it comes to from treifers or from chumats, if it's not a self-cleaning oven, you cannot kasher. So what do? The minig is, you burn it out a couple of hours, and you clean it well, and you put it in an insert. Insert is, you could buy, I don't know here, but metal boxes in the city, you could buy, all the hardware has this special metal boxes. You only bake through that one. It's good only that, because some people will cover it all the way with silver foil, and that will kill the oven, that will kill your cake, whatever you do. So therefore, buy such an insert if anybody has this problem, and then it's fine. So again, we have liben gomer, it's 900, liben kal is about 500, and whatever you need liben gomer, what? 1 hour. 1 hour is enough. Whenever you need to make a gola, you want to make liben kal, is avadagit. Because again, liben kal is much better, much, what? For milching to fleischiks? The highest level, for milching to fleischiks, with Michael for the highest level for half an hour even. Half an hour, about half, half an hour is done, yeah. The what? Okay, yeah.
An hour or half an hour?
Fin milchig en fleischig. Zoek ik daar, ik wil zo zijn, een halve schuss, zo zijn heat. So I make you need an hour, because till it becomes to the degree, until, half an hour, yeah. A thing which you need a gula, you make, again, if you make liben kal, is okay. Hagola is only in water, not b'shar mashkem. Let's make it clear. Not b'shar mashkem. And that's one of the reasons some from people which say a chimra, with a starke chimra, meint sagen, do not eat from goyish companies which was kasher for chocolate. Chocolate you cannot kasher with water. That's the cloud. It kills the machine, it kills the chocolate. So the companies which have doesn't have designated lines for milchis, for parva and milchi on the kasherit. Some people are machman not to eat the parva. It's not considered parva because it's not richtige agula. Other people say, "Yo, Michael, man ich kann breire." In the alter bezoek bei die evet, kann man sich verlassen auf the bashar mashkem. Aber kapunem, I'm just bringing you out. Stores am chimra by a lot of people that they are not. That's why Weissmandl, he writes that his machine. Kapunem, he told me. He always, in his company, he gives it on Belgium of one of the Swiss chocolates. He has dedicated lines of parva and milchiks, not their own kasher.
By the one who's kasher it, or the food is the can't eat it.
Nine. Says, but even when kasher, this is okay. But even when
so then there's no chumrah not to eat it.
The what?
There's no chumrah not to eat it.
And wenn nicht erst sagen, was man gemacht hat, kasher für die Even. Yeah.
Yeah, the problem.
What? I spoke with the father. Yeah.
What needs to be gomer?
What?
Some things need to be.
Yes. An oven needs gober. A frying pan needs liben gober. For Agola things you can leave liben kal. Yeah. If you have.
Which need liben gomer, you can put it in the oven, turn it off, cycle, and that's liben gomer.
What?
If you need let's say your pan needs liben gomer.
Yes. You could put it inside. This is yeah. I say a lot of people who wants to. We're gonna get to that. The chatzivas, the grades, you can put it in over there. When it has the high cycle, then it's fine. Yeah. When it's 500. No. If then you have Another thing which is very important. Today's day, there's machines which is steam machines. People use it a lot for cleaning. It's very good for cleaning. Has nothing to do with kasher. Kitur is not hagola. So let's make it clear. Kitur is not hagola. Kitur is very good for cleaning, and it's affected, but that's about it. Another thing which I want to, before I go to the details, is the Alter Rebbe brings down a minig that you have a separate kli hagula. You don't need it, but the minig is that you have a separate kele. Baruch Hashem, today's them, Baruch Hashem, Ner Mitzvah made a full set. In kashen, a machai with the stone and with the mahafel of a fela. So it's takach moedige bruch, the stone in the machai, gewaldig. Okay, so now let's go in Hilchos Agula. Bekitzer, bifel me can. First thing when you the what? No. Iri, yeah. Steam is nicht Wasser. No what? Yeah, well, you can use it. Efshar. Weil der Alter Rebbe, the Chimmer is nor, weil der Bli is geht raus, geht rein. Chotschig, das ist eine Bioim, und bald sehen, ich beginne so a Chimmer. Aber if you pour it, it's not a problem. Okay, yes, the Luchi is, I can put him the minigis, let's go like that you don't kasher only when it's eine Bioim. Only when you finished using it 24 hours. Now, you finish using it means you finish using it, not Beiser, with hat. Machloikes mug navru mit Chok Yankov, in them nor hagula, do it unkimmen. Nor hagula, libn you don't need to have to wait 24 hours. Why? Because as I mentioned before, libn burns the blias. You don't have to take it out. Hagula doesn't burn it, takes it out. What happens? If it's not by eine bayoima, you take out the blia, it still has good taste. And if you don't have shishim, it goes into the water, and then it goes back into the pot. So automatically, it's a problem. So therefore, is a lucha, either you should need eine bayoima, or you need a big pot, and when you cash a small kele, you need a big pot which has 60 against it, because even the bli comes up. Oh, there's a problem. But Lamas is Alter Rebbe, it's too complicated to hold cheshm. He brings other reasons why it's complicated. So the minig is, we only kasher after 24 hours. Libn again, libn not, but after 24 hours from when we used it. You stopped using it with hat. So not chumatz, nor bechal hat. Machloikes mung avruam and Chok Yankov, but insna beruam mung avruam, you don't use it with hat again. Also, 24 hours. Whenever you kasher, it has to be eine biyom. That has to be clear.
Because that isn't you, saying with the ovens, without it's not using.
But again, but ovens is libn. Libn has different halachas as agula. Libn you don't have to.
So it's not true libn, you said, right?
What?
From milchik separation.
Yeah, it's libn kal. It's enough.
So
it's enough. Yeah.
And that doesn't need 24 hours.
Doesn't need 24 hours. No.
Why doesn't it come back in after 24 hours?
It could go in, but the halacha is that after the taste is in a pot 24 hours, it becomes pogum. It's not the pogum. Pogum asa change. No, not because of that. Because it becomes pogum, and that's why you have to have it should be eine bayoima. Before you kasher a thing, you have to make sure it's clean. That means there's no lichlach, there's no dirt, there's no rust. It is clean. Now, sometimes you clean it, you wash it, everything is fine, but you see still a color on it. Yeah, it's discolored, or it looks like purple. That's okay. That's not dust. If it's not dust, it's not a memorial. It's just a color. It's zgunished. Has to be clean, and then you could kasher it. Sometimes you have a hole, tiny grooves in a pot or in silver where you could have it, and then maybe over there's chomatz, and if it has chomatz, even if you kasher, it won't help. So they have to try to get Alter Rebbe, and you have to, over there you have to burn it. You burn it in the grooves you have to burn, in order to tell me there's a chomatz inside.
For living, it doesn't have to be as clean.
For Liban? No, Liban doesn't have to be that clean because it burns it out.
So,
if you frat Liban Gummer,
if there's rust or some dirt, and I do Liban, and it's...
Liban Gummer to get about. Liban Gummer, if you had a fire, problem.
So, when there's something that's stuck, let's say on the counter, sometimes the paint gets stuck on, and you can't get it off. There's no way to get it off. I can take a blowtorch, and then
so you Alter Rebbe, you blowtorch, and then you could kasher it. Yeah, correct.
After you self-clean the oven, a full cycle, you'll have ashes left at the bottom.
Yeah. You wash. You have shroff and finish. You don't need, but it's burned. It's all burned. Yeah. Okay. Now this noch halacha is wichtig to wissen. When you kasher kelim, has to be a mal rasicha. Mal rasicha means has to bubble. Now it doesn't have to bubble. You know, like when the children who have a bathtub, and there's a lot of bubbles. Tiny bubble has to bubble, but when you put it in a kele, where you kasher a couple of kelim, after 2 kelim for sure, it will stop bubbling. After 1, maybe it will still bubbling. Except if it has a big. We usually, once you put in a kele, 1 or 2, 3 kelim for sure, it will stop bubbling. Then you shouldn't kasher anymore. Cover it for a couple of minutes, it should start bubbling again, and then because it has to be mala babiyas. The Alter Rebbe is clear. Once it stops bubbling, close it, cover it, and make sure it's mala babiyas. Another thing which you have to make sure is the kele is dry, because if the kele is wet, because you washed it, the cold water will affect the hot water in the chainik or in the pot, and you have to make sure it's dry. A very important halacha. Sometimes you want to kasher a lot of utensils, so you're putting it into a basket, and it's one on top of the other, so the Alter Rebbe toiges nicht. The place where it touches, over there, it will not come out, the bliss. So therefore, you could use the basket, because if you know, Mener Mitzvah made the basket, a nice, beautiful basket. But that's good for you want to kasher bechers, or things which you could lose, which you could be loose. But if it's a lot of utensils, the what? No, so that's why once you put it in the water will shake it. Yeah. The what?
Put the basket in first and then drop the silverware.
That's the best thing. Yes, drop every.
So you make sure it's still boiling between
each. Yeah, exactly.
You're supposed to take it out right away.
The what?
You're supposed to take it out the killer right away.
Aber so eine Bejoim ist der Alter Rebbe, es fällt nicht was. Der Alter Rebbe sagt dort, bei Ike mit Sadaluche wird man gedacht, but sagt dort, like Triller, wir kommen jetzt da rausgehen, aber der Maße, so eine Bejoim ist nicht gefährlich.
The little one doesn't need a touch, right?
The what?
The little one, things can be touching each other.
If you can touch, not necessarily.
Like if you have an oven, you put the grain.
Yeah, believe me, you could. Well, the Alter Rebbe like a tly, if you have a patch, yeah. Believe me, but again, has to be, it should be able to, heat should come there. If you put a couple of pans, one on top of the other, and it covers there, and it doesn't get hot if it doesn't get between the pots 900 degrees, then you have a problem.
Does it have to be clean or not?
The what?
For Libben Kal, it has to be clean or not?
Libben Kal, if it has to be clean from the ends, lechoire. Libben Kal darf man es ja waschen, weil Sof brennt es shows all the way. Es ist nur, Libben Kal ist nicht a fully, es hat ein bisschen adin, also wie a gula, ein bisschen mehr. So then you should clean it. Clean it up, if you have an oven, again, an oven darf man has to be Libben Gummer. So, a Libben Gummer you don't have to clean it at all. If it is a Libben Kal, for instance, if you want to make it milchis fleischig, you should make sure it should be more or less clean. Darf schon spartles a lot, tiny drop it werden dus. The what?
You think about his counter, I was thinking it's...
No, he takes it to blowtorch. Blowtorch is Libben Gummer. Blowtorch is a Libben Gummer.
Then you have to leave it on there for a long time, though, right?
Not a long time, you have to leave. Yeah, it's also a mistake is people have a blowtorch and they go through it and finish. It has to become...
It's not Lysol.
Yeah, it's not Lysol. Yeah. You have to leave it there, yeah. Yeah, if you gotta see how Penny he does it. He does it, it does it with stuff to son. What?
The guy was like going around the kitchen done in 2 minutes.
That's a good wish. It's not right. Darf machen ein bisschen Wind, ja.
It's gonna take off the whole top layer.
No, he did it by mommy in my house. It was very good. Aber nachmal, du willst sagen, kusche, fragt von der in the kitchen, yeah, you gotta. Sometimes you have a pot which is too big, then you turn it. You have to make sure every place goes into the water. It doesn't have to be like by mikveh, it has to be in one time, dipped in one time. You cannot do first half kaila, second half kaila. But by gola, it's fine. You dip it, but sometimes it's so big that you cannot dip it two sides. You have to have then the place which did go into the water. You have to make sure to use a blowtorch. Or there's another way how to do it. If you have a big pot which you don't have how to kasher it, you fill it up on top till top. You boil it and then you throw in a hot stone or a hot metal like a hammer which you put on the fire and it goes over. Has to get kasher.
Or put it in the small mitzvah here.
Good.
The kela with the pliers.
The what?
Holding the kela with the pliers.
Yeah, you should move it. You should move it. You lose it. Yes.
Loosen it, or I have to go to another place? I'm supposed to loosen it. I'm saying, Agala, you have to go to that place.
Agala, once you open it, no. If you want the one to fall away, you have to put it on the other side. Sometimes you can open in the middle and glach to machen, as long as you fall. But if not, you put it on the side. The water has to be touched. Also, the hands. What?
When it's too long, you can do Agala, you can do.
Yeah, you turn it over.
Take it out.
Put it with the plier because you don't take it out with your hand, you're going to burn. And don't use ner mitzvah gloves which is not too much worth. So therefore, the gloves is Chinese one, so stay away from it. But you have a plier, you can do it, yes. What? Yeah. Oh, magnets, okay. Also, the handles has to be gekashed. Again, the handles of the pot should be kashed, and therefore, when you clean it, you have to make sure that you clean it well, because sometimes between the pot and the handles, it is, but depends, what? If you want to screw them, okay, just make sure it's clean. Right after you put it in to the hot pot, you take it out, you wash it up with cold water. It's a minig, but it's getin, it's ma'akav, but it's a minig as you wash it up with cold water, and then bagola, yeah. Now, one very important thing. Sometimes people want to kasher their silver wine bottle. Yeah, if someone has one. Now, over there, sometimes people drink in the becher wine, and then they dip in challah. Yeah, you look so modern. It's not modern because if you after fish. Between fish and meat, you have to make. Everybody has smicha, so therefore, you have to eat something and stiefel vaducha. So what do? You take a piece of challah, you put it in your mouth. It's in wine, and you eat it. Automatically, you have stiefel vaducha. The challah. This is Rebbe. This is an alter Chassidische minig which is 200 years old and don't what's versteist die. So therefore, what happens sometimes, once you finish the Seder, and there's half a cup of wine, you paid $70 or even more. Today's day, you pay for wine, except the Chaimosh is not cheap. Not a cheap wine, but a cheap price. But today's day, people pay $50, $60 for wine. So when they finish, you want to pour it back into the wine flask, into the wine bottle. So what happens? A brekle goes into there. And it says, Kuvish is Einzach. Kuvish can noch kashen. But the problem is, kashen because you don't know if it might stick to a wall, you cannot make sure it's clean. In Bagola, you have to show it's clean. So therefore, such a thing, the people, someday Rebbe Sheminik, find antink in the challah and the wine, to pour back the wine, you cannot kasher that kind of bottle. Because you have to understand, may have to be, if there's any, what?
Pressure wash it. You put a high pressure in there.
Okay. So if you can go to the camera. Today's day you can have a lot of okay. Like the sewer systems.
If you're pouring the wine back in, you don't appreciate the $70.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. The silver bottles. Yeah, okay. So now let's go through in Kartzen. Let's go through the how you kasher a kitchen. Pesach kitchen. Again, I don't know how many people kasher the kitchen. It's probably today's day a lot. I can put them over here. A lot of people have Pesach kitchens, which is a gewaldige hidde. It's not a luxury if you can. Again, if you can afford it, because it's gedai. But again, now the dining room kitchen, dining room table, which usually, again, ich sage clueless ignore, weil das ist der Minig von der größte Heilig von der Welt. If you by yours different than has different haluchas, but usually the dining room table is you use the Shabbos. And use the Shabbos, you use it always with a tablecloth. Because we know, in Shechanur Shtayt, the table Shabbos has to be covered. Chasidim hat man auf dem geharget Menschen. And Ochte Lubavitch, yeah. Maybe not 2024, but I could put them 20, or I could put them 1985, hat man noch zigedeggen Tischtecher, yeah. So therefore, also wir waren Chasidim haben gesagt, dass, also wie es da Aluschen, Tefich, bei Ische Erwe, vielleicht besuchen Tefich bei Tisch Erwe. A Shabbos, the door, and it's from the Sachen, which is, you can't take it out from me too. You know, when you see a table which is not, but it is, okay. So therefore, it's always used only the tablecloth. Therefore, basically, you have to make sure it's clean. Well, once you clean it, and you're going to use it also only with a tablecloth, and trace the nach du plastic, disposable plastics, you don't basically have to kasher it at all.
And you change everything.
What?
You change the tablecloth.
Ja, basically digitation. Du steigst schon nicht nur, hat eigen andere tablecloth. Gotschig mit da Luche, was man so kennt waschen, steigt nicht nur, wir freuen uns bringen es rup an, also im minig that you have tablecloths separate. So mal sehen. Now when it comes to what?
If you put the plastic over it.
Okay.
No, if you wash it, you put plastic.
Senora minig.
Yeah. Anything that's out of the table, you can put directly a tablecloth, basically over the table, they use the whole year.
The what?
You don't have to put anything in between the table, they use the whole year, and a tablecloth?
No, nothing. Gunish. It's always used with a tablecloth. Now
the tablecloth is material. It's something to go through, and liquid can go through.
Okay.
And you put something hot on there, and it's bleedus, and it goes through, it's heat.
And it has to be now also something would go through it and go, you know.
Yeah.
And you don't have. It could be hard, but if something is als keile shlishi or the keile chamishi, you know, a soup pills. The soup itself, not maybe it's nicht keile shlishi, but let's say it's keile shiny. It goes on the table. It goes to keile shlishi.
Your table is very klishishi.
Zoek there it met aluche dik dacht me goed niet stehen. If it's always used with a tablecloth, again, if it's always with a tablecloth.
No. There's a verse that do what they should not have that's the Hamas of Pesach.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, but I'm not looking. Chimres, the Pesach, you can do every chimre. Pesach, whatever you do, chimres, steht as the Beshemte, what the Schliebe got to chimres against you, it was against chimres, but Pesach, there was something.
You should not. My father put paper on it. He said the paper is not good enough because the water can go through. He said you should put plastic on top.
This is always if you don't. He's right when it comes to dining table. Dining table, he's right. And it's going to come to it now. But a dining room table which always used with tablecloths, that's a good. Okay, sure. So when it comes to a dining table is Chamoshe right. Over here, Dafman Huben is a soy. If it is from granite, which some trace they has to match, you know, the Hollywood kitchens the Rebbe used to say, which the table has to marble. So then you kasher it. Marble can kashen, kemivim, you bald red, mit even malibim. But if you kasher it well, you don't even have to cover it. When it comes to Formica, which Formica in Samarun mechanisch kashen, so therefore kashen will not help. Kashen cannot Formica. It's like plastic, whatever. So over there, the minig is all the dirt is given. Even a Formica table, you will kasher and you will cover it. But if you cover it with twice, you don't even to kasher to begin with. So if you do the table good, you cover it well twice. Some soifer will zan twice because will zan gimel noist netam. Because why twice? Because once you cover it is also good. Because even if you have a kela, is ein kala if you don't have water between, so you have the table, and you have a cover, and you have the pot. So if you don't have between the table and the anything, so what's the problem? So the soifer, I'm afraid, maybe is going to have a hole. In the mamachman, you should have two coverings. Once you cover it well with two coverings, then you don't need to kash it b'chlal. Okay, chistam again. And the minig is the what?
A wholesome tish.
Wholesome tish you should cover.
So you can't kash it, it's not shy.
You can't kash it, it's not shy. Two covers of a covering well, and then you're good to go. That's good shmertin. In case you use of them noch heiß. Two covers. Yeah, noch I can use the same cover if you use heiß.
Is corrugated plastic considered two covers?
Ich trage die. Met allemaal gefragt, dus ich halte die. But it has to be again. Because the whole chashash when some soiver is Tomer can't. This can't. Nothing can happen. So if you have the correct. What? That's why I'm saying it is enough. That's why I'm saying it is enough.
Corrugated plastic isn't from the sink, from the holes, comes in the water, runs in the inside.
Goes into the hole.
The water
Into the
sink.
yeah.
The plastic goes to around the sink, yeah?
Yeah.
The sink spills in sometimes water.
Yeah.
And water goes in those little holes.
Yeah, but let's assume, okay. But let's assume it is true. Ich darf so sein heiß. So, in also, es ist der Hals kein, zwischen auch kein, noise, not banat. Es sind alle Masses. But again, in such a case, darf man, ich guck meine Beruhig. Das ist Chitzbeze. Ja. So, Al Capone, es ist, noch einmal, Chimre der Peisach, alle Chimres has a Mukum. But again, ich rede, was der Luche ist, was man darf zu tun. You know, if you want to go over that, it's fine.
Everything except the spring clean.
What?
If you want to make every corner of it.
Yeah. So again, so for Micah, you cannot kasher, you have to cover it twice. And that should be fine. Now again, the minig is that you kasher it regularly with a stone, and you cover it once. Because of course, if you have a kasher, and it's covered, is it schon wieder okay. So nach some Sefer was machbar. Von Mike's Giefer, aber das macht ja.
Stein darf nicht in Schim covering.
Stein, if it's a regular stein, no marble, granite, your own, if you cash it with a even malibim, who's going to see? You could. Das heißt even malibim. So how you cash it even malibim? Or you have ner mitzvah stone which you could hold, and you hold it right above the table, and you pour from the boiling hot water on every place. It should go all the way. Or, like the Mendel said, which you pour hot water, and you have a hot iron, which is unplugged. Let me make it clear. If not, the will schon kommen in hospital. Then, what? Ich weiß, was das meint. Ich kenne business sprache. Okay, so then you take it and you put it, go through, and then do some achai. That's good. Now now it comes to a sink. Let's go to a sink. A sink. What? What's lemon? Lemon is for Mike. Lemon is for Mike. We said the camera. Fake marble, what do you mean? Quartz.
Manufactured stone.
It's not manufactured stone. It is stone. You know, they mix it up with glue, with all those things. Jetzt also, as kumas achroinum for the handige postkam that you can cash it also quartz. I hesitate a little bit because I have a friend, Baruch Hashem, which he is in the marble. And he says that it's ungefüllt mit plastic, with glues, which is, so had gewollt hanen and maybe goes into gather of plastic. So therefore, when it comes to quartz, I'm hesitating to be Michael. I said, we have, the what? What is the part? This is stone, but this is plexi. Yeah, plexi is selbe Sache. Warte, so we plastic. That's right, glue. So therefore, I always say, granite you could kasher, stone there is a regular stone which you could kasher, quartz. Immer ein bisschen, I'm hesitant, as I say. And it's G'day, you could kasher it, but it's G'day to at least cover it once. Now when it comes to a sink, we have two sinks. We have the ceramic sinks, which ceramic sinks is basically cheres, you cannot kasher it. So minig Yisrael is that basically you do kasher it with a stone, but you don't use it only with an insert. Only with the Baruch Hashem do inserts, you put it in, and as you can use it even for hot. If you have a metal sink, that's much easier because metal could be kashed. First you have to clean it good. It has to be cleaned very well. Then you have to kash it with even malim. How do you have to be dry too? Exactly, as I mentioned before. Always when you kash, you have to. Yeah, okay. If you like to run, you should like to run. If you kash it with a okay. So, but haluchadik once you kash it, it's daf tizan. Oimer kash it is daf tizan. You don't need to put an insert. Avada tubul of brucha plastic.
If you have a marble sink,
Marble is auch dasselbe. You can kasher it.
You kasher
Marble.
it's just like a counter that you were going
So
to
they-
put on something, you'll put in
No, a marble which you kasher regular with like malim, you don't need to cover bachlal. This is what I said. Only quartz or even dort if you can kasher. Aber doch mal minige oilem is mit der Sidek noch. Es ist aber gerade an Luche. Wenn adin darf man es nicht. Exactly. You're right. Aber noch mal, das größte Chilik, was du willst machen was an. But ich darf sagen, was da Luche ist, noch soll jeder machen was an, was gesehen, was hat an der Seite bachal peisig. Du war Indian to go has your father, your Seite, as the elder Seite, your Rebbe. So therefore,
You have to remove the drain if you're cashing the thing throughout.
so now we're going to get to what? The drain?
There's a second layer of metal.
What you put in?
Underneath that.
Yeah. No, the actual drain itself.
The drain is what?
There's a piece of metal that's covering the
No.
hole.
Okay.
So that's a fly. Is that not a
Yeah, but a fly was became the blia after the fly became had became another blies after habe ich gepraat.
If you change the drain in the middle of the year, so then when you put up the plumber's putty again, it might have covered a different area.
But the place where
The plumber's putty might be covering another area than what you had when
usually if you're a plumber you put it where it belongs to and where it should be. If not what?
It might be moved a little bit.
The what? First of all, I never in my life saw this. You should change this whole the whole about a piece. Who changes it? Why should you change it? You change the zach which you put in inside, but you don't change the whole thing.
The hose goes inside, attach underneath.
Why you? When are you changing it? When are you changing that?
Connected the sink to the pipes.
Im ze nicht bar. Okay. Im ze nicht bar. Kimst du uns zusammen Schabas. Maybe much is like pinklich if it's possible. I don't know if it's possible. Or much like pinklich. You know, then must hast da Schalaf not lie, but this is
where the sink is connected to the counter, like there's a glue rubber around it.
Ja, okay, aber dort, wie kommt dort nur Trille, you know, es ist nicht kein, echt, I think we want, it should be cashed regularly, because you could have a problem with, noodles falls in, echt heiße, Sachen, which you do. So that's why you need even live. Why you need even live? If it's only al da'iri, you don't need even live. That is always, we have always a chashash, which is normal. Yeah, once you put it in the loction, the noodles in the strainer and it falls out, so automatic. It's just chummas, direct chummas. So therefore, we in the machman.
You have to make sure you clean that group. That's where stuff.
The cleaning. Yes, you have to clean it, and exactly, and not only cleaning. When you cash it, you have to put in Mr. Plumber or whatever. What is it called? All these things. Drano, Mr. Plumber, all this hard chemicals. Anything that exactly. What? Kills all the pipes. Okay, but again, you don't want now. Yes, the drainer is the best thing. You take it off and clean it, and you dip it in you cash it regularly. But sometimes you cannot take it off, you know, or you can take it off, but with a plumber, cannot. So the what? Yeah, okay. So the height of them is some strainers you can take out and put in the hot you can schlep it out. Yeah, so that's the easiest thing. But if you cannot, some you cannot. It's steady. So therefore you have to use also with a stone, because du bekommst aber chash. Chabos gegossen noodles and a noodle fell on top of it. So at least the oibishte chaylik, which we have afraid that basically you should pour a stone. The best height in nacht, you put it up with hot water. When it's hot water from the sink, then you pour on this. So that's also.
When
you're going to kill it, you mean?
No,
you have to change it. Such a thing you have to change. If you have something which you do, you have to change it.
When you connect sink to the drain,
so plastic cabinet is kashen. Ja, aber du plastic cabinet is kashen. Aber ich will getracht so. Again, ich tracht jetzt. Days can sein Kann sein mit der even mal leben, was man gekannt sagen, kapunem, ob mir kennt, was man sie kennt, Michael sagen. Ich befragt, if you cover it. Because of course, man muss noch ist Plastik, und Cash oder nicht. Für andere Sache, sie ist ein bisschen erwartet, Chash, als es darauf gefallen an Loction. Sie sagen, was macht sich. Sie ist in Dafka in der Tab. So therefore, but you cannot put it,
If you're filling up a whole lot, you just train, you want to cool down, you put it over, you're filling up from your faucet into
Ich wollte gesagt, dass Fall, dass es anticken, if you can, think this one you can schlep out, it's like the KWC, what's it called? Then you schlep it out and you dump it in heiß Wasser, and you should still cover it afterwards, because so it will not for the faucet itself. Yeah. If you could change it, that's the best thing. That's the best thing is you can change it. The best thing is have a Pesach kitchen. Okay. And you should change the what is it called, the strainer, the area you should strain, all these things which you can change for $3 and you don't need to have Levi, you can do it yourself, for so you can do it.
for your whole year.
It's good for the whole year, exactly. Okay, now the only thing which I wanted still, but is the next case was, again, ovens we spoke already. Lim kal, lim gum, yes, but the only thing is the stove. First of all, a very important thing which people don't realize. The hoods has to be covered very well. Always, you should know one thing, you're going in Goyish houses, and you want to kasher your stove. And you forget that you have to cover it all the time, has to be covered. So why? What happens? My family rented out a house, and the first thing we wanted to use the stove, so we opened all the flames, and we burned out the chatzivas. But the time is too late. It's too short. So therefore, but we put it on, and constantly we cleaned it, and we see still, it's fairy. We couldn't figure it out. Because one of my children started seeing that since it's hot, automatically all the fat, chazer, nevilis, treifas, shrimp, whatever you have over there, it's dripping. So kes kasher bezibamon, kes malab bezibamon, doesn't help. So therefore, it's very important. The first thing we should know, the gagon, the what is it called in English? The hoods has to be very well cleaned and covered. Cleaned and covered, and also covered it twice, because again, the heat will automatically make drip instead of the chumot as it was daf tzizan, and therefore you have to make sure it is cleaned very well. Just going short, the kiraim, the stove, what you need to do is just like this. The stove, we have three parts. There's one part which is the what is it called? The burners with the gas. Well, gas. I'm talking about gas. There's grades. There is burners, and then there's the whole metal which is on top of it. Yeah, they have the. No. The grate is where the pot is. The stove itself. Now the burners, you open up the flame for half an hour and says melim. That's enough. When it comes to the grates, where the pot is, Mishna is very lenient about this. He says automatically every time when you cook, it burns out. The Alter Rebbe is Zayr Machmer. Okay, and if somebody doesn't have a self-cleaning oven, so in Alabavasher, which has the child doesn't have a self-cleaning oven, I say buy separate grates. Invest once for Pesach the grates, you should be 100% Pesach. Again, the worst, if you can't, then you burn it out. You burn it out. How do you burn it out? You take a blech, yeah? You take from Lisan, what is it called? What's his name? Zalman is on a blech. You open up the fires, automatically the blech pushes down the fire, and you burn it out, that should be fine. Burn it out should be fine. Mechanical oven is something else, but if not, burn it out well. And what? More than 10 minutes. Because, again, not calling the Alter Rebbe, that's 20 minutes, 50 minutes. All the flames with a blech, and it will be fine. You burn it out. Now you have the eitzem blech. Now, till a few years ago, you could be able to take it off. I don't know today's day if you can take it off. Till a few years ago, the whole blech with the 4 holes, just you could take out the whole thing. So then, You can take out the whole stove, the cover. You could do it till a few years ago. Then you can take it out, put it in the porch, and just kasher it, with even malibim. But if today's day, I don't know what.
Change it.
If you can change it, okay. But if you cannot change it, you have to cover it. You cover it twice again. Whenever you cover a thing well, when it's covered twice, you have no problem of using that. What? Electric stove, we have a problem. Because a lot of people hold that you cannot kasher it. But, I zoek Eibig, noch alle Masses, beäufen wir hast kein Breire, befragt for in Canada, yeah? Canada, you cannot, yeah? In Toronto too? In Montreal, you cannot have fire, you own it. Oh, what? The glues? Zoek ich mechanisch, ja, aber, the glass. They scammen. They say give. They say okay. They say go. Ich meine to do some glass. Spiral is good. You put it out. This is good. Echt leben. You put it on. You turn it on. Echt leben. There's no problem. No glass. Hand is doch in glass. Over there, I always have this problem. Since Ashala was coming around more and more. Is bederich klar so du kannst bei a peisige stoves. You have to invest. Sag mal du kannst die Jugend für ein Mensch, müssen wir sich verlassen, kann man sich verlassen, that basically you put it on, and once you put it on, you put it in hot water, and beäufen Asafal, so ich heißt lieber, als die geglied, or if you use it only with a blech. Again, ich will noch a tzirf, use it only with a blech. The what? There are new thing. It came out 3 years ago, which is special made for this kind of things. Because he's right. If you put on a blech and doesn't have, if you have holes, it won't have. Well, nothing was going to happen. But usually, if you don't know how to do it. If you cover it with silver foil without making them all holes, you have no problem. But in Etzisrol is Rose Kirosach. I didn't see it in America, but I saw it in Etzisrol. And it's interesting, nobody is still brought it in over in America, but the chizuk is just in case as wissen. It's wrong, sie gemacht, a gewisse rubber, a gewisse gummi, something which covers it, which is, covers the ammi material, which could cover it, and you could use it. So after kashering it, then you cover it, but if not, it is a problem. Some poisim again, hold it, it's not a problem, but most of unsere poisim halten as keraim, shal zechiches, it's over the remove. Andere Weltan, you could be lenient because this heißt Leben, es heißt wie Chazur lekivschen, it's even Kleincheres Chazur lekivschen helft. But again, it is kedai to basically change it. The knobs, you have to just clean it very well. There could be a lot of schmitz, a lot of chometz, clean it very well, and you should have no problem. A plate, what?
For an oven, you could get, for a stove, you could get the portable one.
Okay. Okay.
Just make sure you don't plug them when you're done.
Yeah. The whole top of the stove is fine.
Dishwashers in microwave we do not kasher. Let me make it clear. Dishwashers in microwave we do not kasher. Nicht for Pesach and nicht for Treifes. Let me just make it. This Ashala Oaks macht the ganze Jahr. You invest in what? Der Moishe, die Gres Moishe mit Sachen. What? Noch was? Sie do Matirem? Yes, sie do Matirem. Der Moishe, which is Michael, the metal dishwashers, the stainless steel. Only that, because they hold, it is only iri. The hold is only iri, because the water spritzes, it's not iri. It's to Zaif, aber ich bin saying Michael, because it's a big problem. It's a big problem of cleaning it. A plastic. Okay.
But the racks are plastic. One thing, the racks.
The racks you can change.
The racks are not plastic.